Hello, I'm Jon Sermon. I'm a church leader based in the UK, and I'm here to record another of my videos. Some of you will have seen before, I hope. The regular messages of encouragement I'm issuing ever since early on in the COVID-19 pandemic. Today in the UK, we've just had our highest daily recorded number of COVID-related deaths at over 1,800. And it's the sort of shocking news that even after all the numbing effect of shock after shock throughout this pandemic, this again hits us hard. And we're all fatigued by the sort of restrictions and almost depressing circumstances that the whole situation brings, so that it's quite difficult to maintain encouragement all the way through. I have to say that today, amongst other things, I've been writing pieces to go into the church magazines. And one of the things I thought of was, how can we know when there is light at the end of the tunnel? How can we be sure that we are heading in the right direction, that we are going to get out of this? And humanly speaking, we could argue all sorts about the science and the advice to the government and how quickly the vaccine rolls out and whether it's effective enough. All kinds of issues that may be nuanced suggestions, some of which make things more optimistic, some less. And yet, thinking it through logically like that, we're still left with, but what's it doing to us, the real us, the inner person, the you could call it the psychology, you could even call it the spiritual life of the nation, and indeed the other nations, as we're all in this together. And the fact is, I believe that for decades now, possibly longer, we in most Western countries have been concentrating so much on our material well-being that we can tend to forget even that we have a spiritual side of life. And that, in the end, proves to be to our detriment. We are physical and emotional and spiritual beings. That's how God created us. And as spiritual beings, we are intended to live in relationship with our God and Creator. And in fact, the claim of Christianity is that God is so keen on having relationship with each and every one of us that rather than let us suffer the mess that is often of our own making in human history, he chose to live a human life, but to die an undeserved human death, crucified on a cross, that somehow in ways that our most learned people just can't even get their heads round. It makes a difference for every one of us, paving the way for our reconnection with our Creator, so that God, our Creator, also becomes God, our Saviour, our Rescuer, our ransom, if you like. And that is something that, when we come to realise that and accept it as true, and thus give our lives back into God's hands through Jesus Christ, it can make such a difference. Now, it doesn't protect us in any way from the possibilities of getting ill, from having the virus, from being bereaved and losing our job, all the things that might happen to us. Christians are no more protected from any of that than anyone else. But what we do find is that living a spiritual life in relationship with God gives us a way through it, so that we can be sure there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel, there is an outcome that will be okay. It won't be okay in all the ways we had hoped, or in all the ways we'd imagined. But if we trust in God through Jesus Christ, our outcome can be something we're sure of, that it will be okay. If that's news to you, it's good news. It's worth exploring. It's worth getting to know our God. God bless you.